أشراف مطلوب وطالبه لله أكرام من يمشي على قدم. العلم نور مبين يستضيء به أهل السعادات والجهال في الظلم.
Then the Imam says, Rahimahullah ta'ala rahmatan wasi'ah, that's the third person. So how many people have we studied? The one that is ill and the one that is traveling. That's number one. The second type of people that are allowed to break their fast, the woman that is the woman that is going through a haid, or the woman that is going through nifas, prenatal bleeding. The third type is what? Al-hamil wal-mubda'. The pregnant woman and the one that is breastfeeding. Al-rabi', he says, Rahimahullah, al-ajizu an siyami, the one that is not able to fast, لِكِبَرٍ أو مرض, due to an illness, due to old age or illness. لا يرجى برؤه, and it is not expected that they will get better. The Shaykh says what? فإنه, verily that person, يطعم عن كل يوم مسكينا. Every day that they miss in Ramadan, they make up the day that they feed the poor person for every day that they miss. طيب. The scholars divide al-marad into two. Al-marad, illness, is of two types. ما يرجى برؤه ما لا يرجى برؤه. The first type is ما يرجى برؤه, the one who's expected to get better. For example, a person who's got a bad cold, virus, severe headache. He's expected to get better. That is the norm. That is the person that we studied in the first issue, the first person that was allowed to break his fast. He's the one that is ill. All he has to do is make up the day that he missed. So if a person has a headache, a severe headache, and they say, I can't fast, we don't say to them, feed the poor person. We say to them, what? Make up that day that you missed after Ramadan. Is that understood? What is the first type of illness? The one who a person is expected to get better. The second type of illness is the one that you're not expected to get better normally. As for the shifa, هذا بيد الله, that is in the hand of Allah Jalla wa ala. Lakin, normally it is not an illness that goes away. A person has cancer, for example, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from it and cure the Muslims from it. Or diabetes, especially the severe type 2 I believe it is. Those sorts of diseases, more often than not, they take time and they will remain with the person. Especially diabetes. So that sort of person, they're allowed to break their fast if they can't fast. But they must feed a poor person for every day that they miss. And the same goes for the person who's reached old age, who knows what they're doing, whose sanity is still there, but they can't fast. Because obviously a person does not get younger, they only get older. So if he can't fast this year at the age of 70, next year he's not going to be able to, or after Ramadan he's not going to be able to, because he's not getting any younger. Therefore, that sort of person also feeds a poor person for every day that they miss. So is that understood? The fourth category is a person who breaks his fast. However, they're not expected to get better, so they feed a poor person for every day that they miss. Two ways. They can either feed a poor person every single day. That's it's coming. Like if we study now, they can feed a person every day, or they can feed a person at the end of the month, like Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu did during the last years of his life radiallahu anhu. He would gather 30 masakin at the end of Ramadan and feed them all. طيب. Lakin a person cannot feed them on the first of Ramadan. They need to wait for the wajib to take place. For example, if a person has got diabetes and he knows he can't fast, he never fasts, he shouldn't just immediately on the first day of Ramadan give 30. The scholars say he has to wait until either the end of Ramadan or feed the person every day after the obligation has been prescribed upon him. Right. And there are two ways that this can take place. You can either give him like 1.5 kilos of food to take tamlik, that is called a tamlik, or you can feed them, you can have asha with them, you can have iftar with them. That is also considered sufficient. That is also considered sufficient. So you can either give them the food, or you can either invite them over for iftar or dinner, or you can say to them, go to that restaurant and I'll pay for it, inshallah. Or go every day, go to that restaurant for 30 days and I will pay the bill. Right. So these are the 4 people that are allowed to break their fast. That are allowed to break their fast. Is that understood? These 4 people are allowed to break their fast. The traveler and the one that is ill, they're allowed to break their fast, like, they make up those days. The woman that is going through her haid or menses or prenatal bleeding, she has to break her fast during Ramadan. She can't fast, but after Ramadan, she also makes it up. The woman that is pregnant or the woman that is breastfeeding and they can't fast due to difficulty, or the person that has a long-term illness, or the person of old age that can't fast, all of them need to feed a poor person for every day that they miss. طيب.
وقل رب زدني علما